Good evening, ladies. Very strange thing happened. It says it didn't even connect at first, and it's already saying trying to reconnect. So it's not a secret. My internet connection is not the best. We already discovered that. So every time I go live, we have something going on where like it interrupts. And then we would have to kind of reconnect. But anyway, I was just thinking, so I have a session coming up and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'll tell you maybe later if I am allowed. And it's a big deal because it's a person who is trying to embrace her sensuality or sexuality and maybe for the first time not feeling guilty about it. Right? Or trying to not feel guilty about it, right? And it's a funny thing because every time I hear, from ladies, I can talk to you about this, but like I can't go out and talk to other people. Like why is this such a taboo subject that we have to always hide or pretend that it's not important or just try to kind of avoid the conversation altogether? Like it's no big deal, and it is. And we are moms, we are raising our kids, and they repeat our story. They repeat after ourselves, pretending that it's not important, it's not okay. I admire mothers who are like, I'm gonna put my boudoir photograph on my wall in my bedroom. Like I have a teenage daughter or a 7-year-old daughter, or even like 5 and 3-year-old. And like, I want for her to see that portrait. I want for her to see that it is okay to embrace who you are. It is okay to embrace your sexuality. It is okay to be sexy. You don't need to hide from that fact, right? And so it's so funny how we are raised with those very strict standards for the most part, especially if you are coming from some form and shape of a religious family, right? And it's not only the Christian family. There is lots of other religions where for some reason, women are supposed to, yes, nice to see you, Felicia. Yes, thank you for joining. And Felicia and I had an awesome workout just recently, and if Felicia is not drinking margarita right now, I don't know why. Why we even exist if you don't drink margaritas after your workout, so you can gain it all back. Anyway, back to my subject. Elizabeth says, yes, I want that for my daughter and my son. Thank you, Elizabeth. This is such an important subject that we need to talk about. And the more we talk about, the more we normalize the fact that being sexy is okay. Being sexy doesn't mean you're a slut. Being sexy is just going to show other people that you are okay with who you are. And they gonna know that that's okay too. For me, if you are showing this with your own example, they're gonna think it's okay for me to embrace that side of me. I don't need to hide it. I don't need to not feel safe in the world and be afraid that I'm not gonna be accepted for who I am, right? And so when we take that step towards reclaiming that it's in us, and no matter what you do, like it's okay. So like no matter what you tell me, it is my opinion. I have a very strong opinion about myself, my sexuality, and I believe I'm doing a good thing. They're gonna look at you and gonna think you're nuts. And so what? Because you're standing in your truth, and that's what matters. And so from here, we're going into like the subject of other people judging us. But the real question here, and I know all of us want to be liked, all of us want to be loved, all of us want to be listened to, all of us want to be validated. That's just a part of human nature. Like every single person has this need to be liked, right? And so in our opinion, we think that if we don't embrace who we are, for some reason we need to be this other person who we are not in order to be liked. That's a whole story about like being a good girl comes up for us, right? And the whole story about being a good girl, for some reason we think, oh, good girls like are always liked and bad girls are not liked. Like it's not about good girl or bad girl, right? It's about really standing in your truth, because all good girls, and this is the funny fact that I have noticed, all the good girls come to me. All the good girls come to me to do their boudoir session because they're the ones that don't feel validated. They don't have this outlet to express their sensuality. They're afraid to show that side of them that is part of who they are. And the saying is, oh gosh, like it's a Russian saying, but I can't, how do I translate that in English? That there are like devils in the still water. That's like the literal translation of the Russian saying, that the shy girl is actually the girl who has all the crazy twisted ideas, right, about what she wants to do, because she does not get an outlet to express them in any other way, as she's being perceived as this good girl image, but she's the one who can like go all crazy in bed and whatnot. So it's not even about that. It's about having permission, and the permission needs to come from you. The permission is primarily needs to come from you to be okay with having your desires, to be okay with wanting to do something, right? Like remember this whole situation about me installing a stripper pole in my house. Like I had to ask, like, is that okay? Like I wanted to put it in my living room, ended up like having way too high of a ceiling in my living room, but like I got a little bit like carried away as far as like, wow, like what would people think when they come to my house? They're and seeing this strip ball, right? Well, I ended up installing it in a bedroom, and since then, like I didn't even expect I'm gonna have so much fun just like learning the moves, but it's so much fun. So I like caught myself asking for that permission, for that validation to like, you know, be okay. And the reason is because like my sister-in-law came for dinner, you know, maybe like a month before, and somehow we started talking about it and she expressed her opinion. But again, like all of that is people's projections onto you. It's not you. It's other people's projections onto you. And even I somehow internalized that, and I had to kind of work through it and ask for permission, and I had to overcome that idea that yes, I will be judged, and so what, right? So that is just one of the kind of smaller, simpler examples of, you know, embracing certain parts of yourself and being okay with not, you know, with having, you know, those desires, with wanting to have pleasure, with like, you know, there's just so much taboo out there that you're not supposed to talk about, but like especially like money and sex are the two subjects that are so taboo that nobody talks about those subjects. And in the end, people struggle from being poor and struggle from not having good sex life, and that's what it comes down to. And people who embrace the fact that it's okay to like have the money and like learn the ways to make more, and same thing for sex, have you know, learn how to, even like if you are single, how to pleasure yourself. Like some girls go through this period of like, wow, like can I buy a vibrator for myself? Like is that even normal? Like can like this is so weird. Like I don't want to like look look like only like sluts do it, right? No, it's not how it is, and it's not, and it's gonna enhance the sex life so much, even if you are, whether you are single or whether you're with a partner, right? And so there's just so much taboo about, like, even boudoir sessions. Some girls usually come in and say, I have no problem, not so much sharing the images, but like some girls are like, no, I don't want anyone to see it. I don't want anyone to know it. I want this to be hush hush. But why? But why? This is your step number one in embracing your power. This is your power. Your sexuality is your power. Maybe the fear that comes from seeing these women who have embraced that sexuality side of themselves, they are being admired, but at the same time they're being feared because, oh wow, who is she to say or claim that it's okay for her to be her? Like and because you feel like you can't do it, you are either, there are a couple of things happening here when you actually look at another person and you being triggered. You either admire that person for her strength. That means you are accepting that side of yourself in you. Admiration is usually an inspiration. Like in my case, it's not so much about sexuality, but like business besties, right? Girls who are going out there and killing it, like making the money, doing the travel, like becoming, like all the things that, we all want. And I see it in them and I'm inspired by them versus triggered by them, right? I'm not fearing them. So same thing here. You see a woman who came out and embraced her power, embraced her sexuality, and if you are inspired by that person, you are way more than halfway there, right? You are way more than halfway there. If you're seeing the person and you are kind of like, who is she to think like that she can't do it? Like if that side of you is being triggered, that means you're just not allowing it. That side is in you. And it's a reflection. Every person that triggers us is our mirror. So it's a reflection of who we are. And if there are certain kind of unstable feelings that come up around that person, that means we ourselves have not accepted that side of ourselves yet, and we have a lot of work to do to get there. So I see we have comments. I really want to read them. Let me see. All right. April says it's hard to share sexual experiences when so many are embarrassed what to do and don't do in the bedroom. I'm open book. Hold on, let me read it again. It's hard to share sexual experiences when so many are embarrassed of what they do and don't do in the bedroom. Okay, and correct, exactly. It's social conditioning. It's our upbringing. It's like what we were told is okay to share and what we were told is not okay to share. Especially if you are, raised in a Christian family, they don't talk about that stuff. That I don't even know if they like teach. Some people might not even like pretend that sex doesn't exist, right? And so how do you expect a child who is a growing child to learn about sex without, with this like pretense that it doesn't exist? It's books, it's experiences, it's failures, and failures probably, because they would be ashamed to ask that question. They would either, do their own research on the internet, right? So a lot of it is really social conditioning. So yes. And so glad to hear, April, that you are an open book, and that means you've done your inner work around it, and you like so much like higher at that level to kind of embrace who you are and see that it's totally okay and totally normal for people, right? I think we have another comment. Hold on a sec. How did I get there? Kimberly, yes, my boyfriend said it's true. Kimberly says so true. I will have to rewatch to see what it is. But thank you for your feedback. Thank you for talking to me. I love hearing what you girls have to say, because like I will lead the conversation, I will direct the conversation, but it is when we coming together as a group, right? And we share our own opinions and experiences, the bigger picture unfolds, right? And we're learning from each other's experiences. And girls that are in a group, they see that like so many others are already out there and they're not, and they're like, oh wow, apparently it's normal to be sexual. Apparently it's okay to not be hush-hush. Apparently it's this and that, right? And it really is about personal development. Well, girls, do you have any questions for me? It's seriously very, very fun to chat with you. I had this idea, I had this thought that, you know, this needed to be addressed, because, you know, it's totally okay to come and have a boudoir session. In fact, boudoir session is the beginner step towards the bigger exploration. So many women that we work with, they don't really know what their sexuality looks like. They don't know. And so we start asking questions like, at what level are you? Like, you know, there's a scale 1 to 10, like 1 is girl next door, Marilyn Monroe type. Like, how far do we want to take the boudoir session, right? Like, do you want just the shoulder open, maybe like a little bit something see-through? Or do we want to go all the way to level 10 where we have dominatrix persona and like explore there, right? So interesting. I also found that there are different levels to kinky as well, and I've shared it with my girls recently that my discovery was my idea. Like everyone, like when you say sexy, it's so different, means different things to different people, right? I need my margarita for that. Means different things to different people. For some, sexy is something super, super simple, subtle. For others, it's like whole like BDSM stuff. So when you say sexy, you have to ask more questions. Right? So more questions, and like I told you in this example, like what level are you? Are you level 1 or 2 or 3, or are you level 10, right? Dominatrix. And so most girls are usually at like 6 or 7, 5, 6 or 7, somewhere in the middle, right? And, you know, I'm at a level where I actually enjoy embracing the dominant side in me. In fact, so funny, we girls went pole dancing yesterday at the Studio Rio, and the person who was signing us in, right, she asked us, what's your dance name? And I was like, never thought about that. That's a good one. Like, I need to think about that one, right? And so I'm driving back home in a car, and I was like, what would be my dance name, right? And I was like, I'm gonna be dominatrix. Like, if I ever do strip, like if I go strip in a club, I would just like, instead of lap dances, I would like have a whip and I would whip the guys instead. I went home and I shared this, like, I thought it was like best idea ever. I thought I had a kick out of it. Like, I thought like, that's it. I've like created my stripper path. I went in my mind, of course, jokingly, but I went and I shared that idea with my husband, and he's like, what? That's like the worst. That's like, that's not fun. That's not even cool. So, obviously he does not enjoy my dominant side, and we don't explore it with him, right? But I would like to have like an outlet to explore that, because to me it seems fun, and I just at least want to play with it, right? Even me sharing these kind of details with you girls, to me this is normal. This is girl talk. this should be talked about, where a lot of other girls are suppressing those talks, those ideas, those thoughts that come up, right? And they end up kind of settling for this kind of average, boring, the sad thought is that most of the girls don't even have orgasm in bed or enjoy sex, period, nor their husband, or it's become such a routine that it's like, okay, let's get it done and over with. And so many other girls don't even have sex altogether in a marriage. So those are the sad statistics, and I'm not like joking. I'm not joking. It is sad statistics, and this is something you have to enjoy together with your partner in order to maintain that relationship, because that's the only thing that's gonna keep you together. Like, why would you be together otherwise, right? Kimberly says, I didn't have a question, but my boyfriend really listened to this, and he's more open-minded to the boudoir shoot. And again, like, boudoir session is literally your step one on a process towards exploring yourself, towards exploring your sexuality. Like I said, there are girls who are in the very beginning stages and they feel like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be like, just open up a little bit, right? I don't wanna do like the whole thing. It's a little too much. And some girls go in and it's like, this is my third shoot. I want to do something different. I want to explore some crazy side of me, right? So we'll work with you together on that. But it is literally your step one in learning who you are as a person and learning about your sexuality altogether. So super important. Don't ever underestimate. The way our studio is different is we look at boudoir session as transformation, where it's not just about pictures. I had there's interesting like a flow of these people inquiring off of Google lately, and they have not been in a group, so they're not really fully involved in what it is that we're doing and like the whole transformational aspect. So they're like, well, I want to get the pictures. So we kind of start asking like, well, there is a reason why you want to get the pictures. What's in it? So I don't think they expected those kind of questions, right? But there's the reason why you want to do boudoir session is not for the pictures. And I see right through you. I know exactly when you come to me, I know exactly, and I get to the bottom, like, why do you want to do this? Because I don't just want to give you the pictures. They will be there, yes, and they will be hot and they will be amazing and whatnot. But what is it that you are getting in the process? What transformation? Like every single girl is the question I ask. What transformation are you looking from this? What do you want to see when you look at the woman? Who do you want to embrace? Who do you want to discover? Most girls discover their goddess and they had no fucking idea it was there. It was there. They never knew. They see and look and their mind is blown. They're like, wow, is that me? Like, this is insane. So a lot of girls have this kind of reaction and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like butter to my soul. I love hearing, seeing that. I know the transformation is done. I know the magic happened. I know they've been brought to me by the divine force and I needed to be the one photographing them. I believe in that stuff. I know they needed that transformation. That is how we look at the boudoir session. It's a transformation towards a bigger picture. It's a transformation, whether it's finding your sexuality, whether it's learning to love yourself, whether it's learning to just finally be okay with who you are in your body, size, shape, form, or just like as a person altogether, because there's so many negative people out there telling us we're not good enough. Our mothers in particular, right? Sometimes our boyfriends, but I hope you have a good one. I have to share, you guys, just had a beautiful viewing of the images with the amazing couple and the guy could not get enough of his woman. He's just like, she's the best, she's perfect as she is, I love her, I just love her. And like, he would tell me this, and it's just so beautiful, such a beautiful energy in that relationship. It's amazing. I wish, like, I want all of you to have this energy. Like, if he's telling you that you are not good enough, he's not the person for you. All right, you need that guy that I talked to earlier today, that you need to be in that relationship where he admires you like from toes to the top, like all of you, your body, whether you're perfect, not perfect, like that is, and that man exists. That man exists. You just haven't found him yet, right? So anyway, that's off topic. All right, great. I think we had another comment here. Again, I'm not sure. I quite catch where that comment was made at the point of my conversation, because I get so kind of wrapped up in like talking itself that it's hard for me to keep track of like certain things. So anyway, what do you think? Do you think you are still on a path of, accepting that, being sexual is normal? Or are you feeling like, no, I totally, out there, I can talk for hours. Like, I can like go and show this, like every girl, like I can tell her what vibrator to choose, what not, right? Like, where are you? Like, we'll do the same scale, 1 to 10. Like, 1 is like, I'm still on a path, I'm still learning how to embrace my sexuality, where 10 is more like, oh girl, like I can talk, I can do a public speech on like the topics of sexuality, right? So where are you on this path? Put it in the comments. I want to know. And if you are ready to do boudoir session, let's do it. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be a first step to embracing who you are, and then learning about yourself too, learning about what attracts you, what turns you on, what certain things you find hot, what certain things you don't find hot. So there's so many more to explore, and it's a beautiful subject. It's a gorgeous subject. I can talk about it for hours, right? Girls, I can't wait to see. I'm going to be reading all of your comments. I can't wait to see what you'll put in there. Are you at level 1 where you're just starting to learn and explore your sexuality? Or are you at level 10 where you feel completely in line and comfortable with your sexuality? Where are you? Tell me, where are you on the scale 1 to 10? I will be reading all of your comments, and I'm gonna go for tonight, but I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.